First dish we're gonna do today is our hay dessert. It's been on the menu since day one. So we're gonna start with some apples that have been poached in a hay syrup. Granny Smith, nice and tart and acidic. Then we have our aerated hay custard. So this is hay that's been toasted, added to a bit of a caramel, brought up with cream, and then seasoned with more of that hay syrup. We finish with a little green apple granita, nice and bright and acidic. We have a chamomile meringue. And then just a little bit of flowers, tying that floral note. Years ago, I was working at a restaurant where we would age our guab and quail on hay. And we tried toasting it, we tried making oil out of it. Toasting it was really reminiscent of being back home in Manitoba out at the farm. It had this really nostalgic aroma for me. My brain started going into a sweet world with that, and so we took the toasted hay and we added it to a custard, and we started messing around with ISI canister so we could aerate it and add a little bit more volume. It was something that was super delicious, but it wasn't crying out for someone to eat the whole bowl of it. So we're trying to find ways to make it a bit more addictive. Adding an element like green apple really helped bring brightness and freshness and a different temperature, but it still was missing something. It was missing texture, but we found that any sort of cookie or cracker ended up being heavy and it would collapse. So the light, bright, airy meringue was where we went next. We found that chamomile in the meringue with a little bit of vinegar dusted on the baking meringue, kind of brought that whole floral note and the whole thing together. Been on the menu 5 years. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's one of my favorite desserts to eat, one of our guests' favorite as well, one of our favorites of all time. Our next dessert is our wintergreen dessert. So we're gonna start with our chanterelle and brown butter cremo. There's a little bit of white chocolate in there, adds a little bit of sweetness. Add a little bit of a blueberry compote. A little bit of a blueberry semi-Frito. Call this one Everything Crumb. It is a malted barley, caramelized white chocolate, and brown butter crumb, kind of taking from a few other desserts that we've done in the past and just blending it all together. We have these fancy little fir tuiles. So it's a cocoa tuile. In place of butter, we use a Douglas fir oil. Just kind of brings that forest flavor together. Finish it all off, we have our wintergreen ice cream. It's a dessert that combines 3 ingredients that grow together in Manitoba. I was introduced maybe 5-6 years ago while we were foraging for mushrooms to wintergreen. So it's like a little green leaf with little red berries. And in the zone where all the chanterelles and all the blueberries grow, it's like super prolific. I've always kind of just noticed it, smelled it, never really picked enough to do anything with. And then earlier this year, we were in Montreal cooking at Mustard, and I was introduced to a tea brand. They process and sell the wintergreen in a volume that we can use. Wintergreen ice cream has that kind of almost bubble gum, like kind of fresh forest, but like bright and just really interesting flavor. And then it's rooted in a mushroom, particularly chanterelle, brown butter cremo, and then bright acidic blueberries. It's really magic how something that grows together goes together. And we've made that into a dessert that is a shining star here at Published. Our next dessert is based on bay leaf. So we start with our bay posset, which is set in our nice little bowl here. We have a little hazelnut praline. Add bay leaf sorbet. And we have a little bit of fresh sheep sorrel. It's coming from one of our favorite foragers, and like one of the first few green things that we get this time of year. And then we just dust with a bit of fresh bay leaf powder. There we have it. A few years ago, a friend of ours from Pilgrim Restaurant on Galliano Island brought over a giant garbage bag full of bay leaves, and we're trying to find creative ways to use them that wasn't just throwing it in the stock or the sauce. We tried a few different ways, but we found that they were really, really strong and kind of overbearing. And what we found the most success was a posset. So we infuse cream and milk with a bay leaf, and then add a little bit of lemon juice just to set it. And that's cast into small bowls. And we wanted something to bring that a little bit further, so we started messing around with bay leaf ice cream, bay leaf sorbet, and we found that green apple provided a perfect base for the green, really green and fresh notes of the bay leaf. And then to anchor that, we have a hazelnut praline that gives just a little bit more depth and deep and dark notes to the dish. And again, looking for a little bit more freshness and brightness, we added fresh green table grapes just for that kind of acidic pop that the dish was missing. It's something that's come back on and off again for the last 4 years, and we'll run for a window of time when we can get local bay that's like really fragrant and at its finest.